Hey there everyone, my name is Hitesh and welcome to the series on the Git. Our today's topic is pretty interesting, which is a little bit scary as well. We're going to talk about the Git Rebase. I'll walk you through what are the caveats of it, what could be the accidents that can happen with this command, but all under control. You'll have full knowledge about when to use this command, when to avoid this command, and you'll not be scared of it. And there are a couple of scenarios that I would like to talk before jumping into this command. First of all, if you haven't checked out my channel or haven't yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It would be really motivational for me. Or if you can share this series, that would be fantastic. I've put a lot of effort into this. Your one share, that's the price of this course. That's it. All right. So first of all, let me share a simple scenario. So what we're going to learn about this one, this git rebase command, you'll find the entire internet is kind of divided into two halves, and one half is on the 90%, which is scared of this command. And only 10% of the folks actually love this, who have used this extensively, and they really know what they are doing. It's not that scary of a command, but it always does rewrite the history. And when you are rewriting the history, you should be cautious. And that's what this command exactly does. I'll tell you a personal scenario. When I was working as a CTO in one of the company here in India, and in that we were organizing a lot of hackathons in our company. And a group of students came in and they accidentally ran the rebase command wrong way in the last 1 hour of the hackathon, and their entire project got messed up and they couldn't participate. So yes, you should be careful with this. I'm not sharing the horror stories. I'm just sharing what happened there. The truth happened there. And you should be cautious about it. That's all I'm going to say. And now let's go back onto the code and walk you through with how actually it goes on and work with that. So let me share the screen. All right, so where we are right now, let's go ahead and check the Git status for this. And my keyboard is too far on the left. I don't like it that way, but what can I do? So let's go ahead and say I want to run the Git status. Everything is good on the master branch. And how many branches do we have? And by the way, I love this feature that I can scroll this and can say I want to learn or I want to run the command, the git branch, so I can just go with that. I love this. So we have a couple of branches, couple of things going on. Everything is well sorted, well centered up here. Let's go ahead and first run about what happens when you run the git rebase command. Again, the red smiley here with saying, hey, be cautious about it. So this command can be used as an alternative way of merging or can be used up as a cleanup tool. Cleanup tool because it rewrites the history, and an alternative of merging because it literally performs the merging. But in the merging, you actually keeps your branches separately, but it just merge everything into a single timeline. This is how the output is something which you'll see when you rebase. And this is kind of an output you see when you actually do the branch merging. So yes, this is exactly like merging. We already have seen quite in depth about how the merging works. But now we're going to see how the rebasing of the stuff works. All right. I'm not going to go through again with the merging process. You're quite familiar with that. Whenever we do the git merge, it actually merges the code into the main branch, or wherever you are merging, you can just go ahead and work with that. Now we'll focus more on the rebase, but I'll walk you through with the branching scenario as well a little bit. We'll go through with the demo quite in depth. Now here is a caution note. Whenever you are either on the main branch, or in this case, we are going through with the master quite a lot, or the master branch, never run this command. I repeat this again. If you are on the main branch or master branch, this command is not meant to be run from that branch. This command is usually meant to be run from the side branch that we are, whether that's a bug fix, footer, feature, whatever that branch is. Usually this is meant to be run from the branch itself, not the main. This is usually the guidelines which everybody puts out. Whoever has worked in the big large scale corporation, this is usually the guideline. But again, we're going to go through. So again, don't worry about all these big long commands that we have here. We have a really long ones. You don't have to worry too much. This is just walking you through that how the whole flow actually works. But since I'm with you, I can just go ahead and work through with that. All right, so let's see what happens. So first of all, we are on the master. So let's just say what happens now is we go through, and by the way, we'll be keeping an eye on this one. So this is whole things going on and how the things are working with. We are more interested in this diagram because this is the only thing we have. All right, so first of all, let's go ahead and work a little bit. So in the index section, we come up here and we say, this looks nice. Oops, again, keyboard is a little shifted. This looks nice. I save this. I go ahead and check the Git status. You obviously know what's about to happen. There is one untracked file. We're going to go ahead and commit this. This time I'm going to use -am, which is another shortcut of adding and committing at the same time. So we're going to say updated main website. Looks good. And we have done the commit. Now where we are at this position. Looks good. If I check this one and I check the UI, now we can see that there is some work that is being done in this one. We have some stashed being onto this branch as well. What this branch is, if you can just go ahead and click on this, you can just see this is the footer branch that we are working through. We're not much worried about the footer branch. That's okay. That's fine. I'm not worried on that branch. Let's just say there is another branch. Let's just go ahead and see this one. There is another branch which is the bug fix, and let's go on to this bug fix branch. I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, let's check out the bug fix. And now I am on the bug fix branch. Let's go ahead. We work a little bit on the bug fix branch. I fixed the navigation bar bugs. Maybe we have to contact us was not working. I will just cut this out. I'll just use an anchor tag. It's not going anywhere. This was the bug. Let's just assume. I'll just say contact us. Now the bug is being fixed. All right. But if I go ahead and check it out at this point, my bug is fixed. Let's go ahead and git, and we're going to go ahead and commit. And we're going to go ahead and say, let's just say the bug is fixed, but I still need to work a little bit more onto this one. So I'm going to go ahead and say updated navbar. That's nice. There we go. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and do some more work on the master branch. So let's just go ahead and do git checkout. And we want to go on to master branch. There we go. And in the meantime, the master is also working. If I check the git branch, we have this one working on this one. So I guess that's my not in the commit. This one is, but we have updated the main website. So this is the pink one. And in the meanwhile, there is some more work on the index file that was done. And I want to say, what do we do on this main website? Maybe some gallery was added, some images were added, images added. So there we go. Images is being added. And what do we want to do? Commit, git, commit, and same. And we're going to say images added. All right. Now let's check out another branch. And again, this is kind of a workflow that we have to go through. I'm not making this up. So let's go into the bug fix again. And there we go. Now, when I go into the bug fix, obviously the index file is having nothing, but it would be really nice if I could bring in the whole code base from the main branch into this branch. That would be really nice. And this happens quite often, more than you think, that we go ahead and merge the main branch into our bug fix branch. So whatever has happened on the main branch can come onto my branch and I can see what's the latest update. Quite common thing. So we're going to go ahead and say git merge, and this time I want to merge. So wherever I am, first of all, I need to check that. I'm on to bug fix and I'm going to go ahead and say git merge. And this time I want to merge the main branch or the master in this case. By the way, the main and master, you might see me often exchanging the name between main and master. There's a history of it. Let me share it with you. So initial days when the Git was designed, everything was called as master branch. In fact, in a lot of other DevOps tools like Kubernetes and all these things, we used to call one master and others as slave. And somehow some people find that offending. So nowadays we call everything as main and others as regular branches. So that's why Git is a pretty old software, still does the main branch as the master. But on the GitHub, they don't want to have any conflict, so they call it as main branch. So main and master are literally the same. They are just the branch name. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the merge master. Once I go ahead and do the merging of the master, it says, hey, there's now editor. This is usually the default message. I'll go with this only. Merge main master branch into the bug fix. I go ahead and save this and close it and go back up here. So files are being added. Now, everything looks good. If I go ahead where I am right now, I am onto the bug fix. If I go ahead and check out the bug fix onto the index, all of these images and everything came onto my picture. But what some people don't like is this guy. So now there's this extra commit that, hey, there's whole things going on. Now, again, I can start working on this. I'm still on bug fix. I'm still working on the navbar bug fix. And this about us is the link which was not working. So I added an anchor tag, goes nowhere, and about us. So we have added some more stuff and we worked on to this one. We will be adding a commit message and I'll say more bug fixed, or I'll say about us fixed. These are really bad commit messages, but somehow we work with that. And if I check this Git branch, that again, master is doing nothing and all of these things. But in the meantime, you went up and changed this one. Yes, we need to go through with this whole workflow so that you get the idea of how things actually works in the real life. I'll go ahead and do a checkout, and I'll check out onto the master and git checkout, and my bad, need to run master. Now we are on the master branch. We are still working on index file. Images, pricing card, added. All right, so we have added the pricing card. The throat set's still itchy, but anyways, a pricing card being added. I want to add this, and I'll say pricing card added. All right. Let's see what's the situation of this. All right. Now more work is done on this one, so there will be new commits being added. This is how the life is. Now you want to get all those commits that are being done on the main branch being migrated onto your feature branch or the bug fix branch, wherever you are. So this is something which is bothering to a lot of people, that if I go ahead and check out the git log in one line, you'll notice a lot of commits are just the merging commits. So this is the merge of the nav bar. This is merge of the footer branch. These commits are not actually putting any work. They are just merging. And same thing is happening if I go ahead and do checkout onto the bug fix branch and do the git log again. Why my cursor went away? And I go ahead and do this again. Notice here, the same thing is happening here. We merge this. So these are unnecessary commits that are going through, and a lot of people don't like it. So what do they do? Let me show you. Now, first and foremost, the most important thing to learn about this is where you are. So never be hesitant to run the Git branch. I am on bug fix. This is where I can run the command of rebase. If you are in the master and run the rebase, the whole mess is on you, not on me. Make sure you understand this key point. So now what we're going to do is, now we want to bring all those changes here. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to do a rebase. All right. But rebase needs to run on the master branch. So this is the command that you usually want to run. Git rebase main or git rebase master. This indicates that I'm rebasing my branch with the master. You don't want to mess up the master branch or the main branch. Now notice here what happens when I run this command. Rebase successfully. And now what you can see, the timeline is being rewritten. The timeline is rewritten. This is scary because now the main timeline is, it's literally rebasing. What we are doing is rebasing. That means we still have two branches here, but this is my main branch and its base is now here. So this is the point of its base. So this is the most important part. We still have branch, we still have two heads. These are just the pointers which can point on to different points or different commit IDs. But this is my branch. This is literally, you have taken the branch and have replanted it on the master. This is scary. This is because you are rewriting the history. At this point, probably you might not be able to understand the severity of it, but notice here the branch is entirely gone. It's just the master. And if any more changes, we will obviously be diverting into the branches. If any more work is done on the bug fix, more branches, we'll see those colors online. It's not like we have entirely removed it for the future as well. They will exist. I'll show you that. But this is the point where things actually gets a little bit scary. So again, checking where I am onto the bug fix branch. So if I go ahead and add some more stuff, maybe I'm fixing the same nav bar. Let's just cut this out. Oops, not like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, add the anchor tab, goes nowhere. Home tab is also fixed now. So let's just go ahead and commit this, git commit, and we're going to go ahead and say that home tab fixed. Not really a big fix, but maybe that's 1,000-line code. I'm going to go ahead and you're going to see this in the commits ID git graph now that yes, the fix actually is now the same on the home branch and as well as on the bug fix. But the moment you'll do some more things on the master branch, you'll see the commits ID being changed. So we're going to go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and check out the master. There we go. Do some changes on the master. We are doing more changes in the index, pricing card. What else? We have YS section being added. Go ahead, save this. Do the commit YS section added. Go ahead and run this one. And let's see the Git graph. There we go. We can see the branching is here. So it's not like we have completely removed that you cannot have branches ever. But here is the interesting part where we have no idea of how the branching came in, bug fixes. We have just merged it. And even if you look at the commits, the unnecessary commits that were there, like merge the branch, those commits are gone. That's the whole idea about the rebasing. And in case you are wondering what happens when there is a conflict, exactly same what happened in the branch. When you merge the branches, when you merge the rebase, it's exactly same. If there is a conflicting file, you have to remove the conflicts manually or use the VS Code to accept the changes and all of that, and you have to run another command. So interested in doing the conflicts? Why not? Let's go ahead and do the conflicts. We are on to the branch of master. All right, so let's just say the master has worked on it. Let's go ahead and check out on to the bug fix as well. And we're going to go git checkout, and we're going to go on to bug fix. And this bug fix guy comes into the index and says pricing card added. And he also says new pricing card added. So we are working on the same file. Some stuff is being added. Which one to keep, which one not to keep, it's up to you. I'll just save this because we are here to make conflicts. Let's go ahead and do the commits. And I'm going to go ahead and say card added to index file, not added, add card to index file. Usually you want to give the command to get it on that. Again, let's go ahead and work with that. So now what happened is, hey, there's a conflict in this, and let's just go ahead and run the branch. We are on the bug fix, so it's safe to run the command. If I'm on the branch, I can merge or rebase from the master. Let's go ahead and see what happens when I try to rebase. Let's go ahead and find out the command that we want to run, rebase the master. I do this and it says rebasing, couldn't do the rebase because there is a conflict here. And here are a couple of hints. You really don't want to skip this part. Read this entire whole message. If you're not going to be reading it, you will not understand the rebase. So go ahead and follow this. It says resolve all the conflicts manually, mark them as resolved with hint. Then you have to run the git add or remove the conflicted file. So you have to run the command git add. Yep, that's the thing. And then run the git rebase. And my terminal is a little short. Can I expand it? Yep. And there we go. Whole thing in one line. Now it's better. All right. Notice here, this is the one that I want to get your attention to. You have to add this. This is the first part of it. And then you have to run the git rebase -- continue. That means the rebase right now is in the halt phase. You have to resolve your conflicts and then I can continue the rebase. If somehow you find it a little bit scary, you can go ahead and use the -- abort command as well to abort the entire thing. If I go back onto this one here, notice here, this is the resolved all these things. And you can just click on this accept changes. Last time I showed you how you can do this manually by removing all of this. This time I'll show you how you can use VS Code. I'll say that accept the current change, accept the incoming change, or accept the both. I'll accept the incoming change, which is coming up from the master branch. I'll accept this. This is how it looks like. New pricing card added. And I'll go ahead and save this, but that's not enough. I need to go ahead and literally come back here and add this. And again, you don't have to commit this, you just have to add this. So I'm going to go ahead and say git add. In this case, it's just one file, but you can use the dot. Feel free to use that. I'll just go ahead and add this, but that's not enough. Now it needs to be only in the staging area. Now you can continue this. But if you go ahead and check the Git graph, notice here, uncommitted changes and all these things. It's an ongoing thing, so don't just worry too much about it. And we're going to go ahead and say git rebase and the -- option. -- continue. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you hover onto this one, it says restart all these options. I love this editor. Restart the rebasing process after having resolved conflict merging. Really nice. I hit enter and it says add card to the index. So now it's asking you for the commit message. I'm happy with this commit message. I'll save this, close this file, and you get that. Now finally the rebasing is completed. So there is no such thing as like automatic conflict resolver or something, but we get to see this. That whole thing is again just a one timeline. So literally we are actually changing the timeline. So it took us a little bit time to actually understand that how the workflow and everything is done. But I think by now you actually truly understand what the rebase is. And again, I would like to bring you one more thing up here, that again, never rebase the commits that you have shared with other people. And if we are pushing to the GitHub, never rebase is usually the idea. But again, it's not like I'm against the rebase. You can rebase, and some companies do actually ask you to rebase all the time. Some people like to keep their commit history being very, very clean and not unnecessary commit. That's okay. That's the workflow you will learn. Some people have the workflow or their experience with too much rebasing. Some people have rarely have done the rebasing. So it's up to them. They are scared of it or not. I am little bit, but I know when I'm rebasing what I'm doing. So that's the whole idea. So the whole point of the picture is rebase is not that scary. It's just you need to know what you are doing. If you know that what you are doing, it's always a good idea. And again, never do the rebase when you are on the master branch. Always do the rebasing when you are on the bug fix branches or some other branches. That's the workflow I have done. But again, your workflow might be different or something else. So that's your rebase. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, do tweet out this video or the entire video, however you like that. Let's catch up in the next video.